Game Trailers E3 Awards 2010. Best Third-Person Shooter.
At Game Trailers, our Best of E3 nominations are subject to a few rules. Depending on the category, most games need to be playable in order to receive a nod. No controller, no nomination, which incidentally includes Dead Space 2. Nothing personal, Isaac, just business. The following nominees gave us ample opportunity behind the trigger, or, in case of a lot of them, behind a safe piece of cover.
And the nominees are Gears of War 3.
Delta Squad's been beaten, bruised, and in many ways, punished. Yet the fight for survival carries on, and we're happily on board for the ride. We've scrutinized the Ashes to Ashes trailer more times than we're willing to admit, so after seeing and playing the game, it's safe to say Gears 3 surpasses our expectations, and then some. The graphics are gorgeous, the new lambent enemies are terrifying, forcing you out of run-and-cover gameplay, and the 4-player co-op has our bayonets revving in excitement.
Kane and Lynch 2 Dog Days.
As you careen through the various locations of Dog Days, the dark and gritty visuals bombard your senses with flashing lights, tinted glass, and various camera lenses, forcing your retinas to constantly readjust. It's a trip just playing through the game, let alone trying to square up and shoot something that's in need of a bullet. This surprisingly solid sequel was one of the more pleasant surprises at the show.
Mafia 2.
The open-ended world 2K's created, and Mafia 2 is the closest you'll get to traveling back in time without a flux capacitor. Set in the 1950s, Mafia 2 replicates the mid-century with authentic sights and sounds, including vehicles that behave as closely as possible to the real thing, and songs that have been ripped directly from a dusty jukebox. The sense of being submerged in the era, along with strong production values and solid gameplay, make it an easy choice.
Spec Ops: The Line.
It might sound silly, but sand, especially in large quantities, can be deadly. Not only will you have to deal with an onslaught of enemies all vying for a piece of your flesh, but the tumultuous terrain will also test your survival instinct, making you think twice about where you fire your next shot. Friend or foe, what's great about Spec Ops is that the sand is yours to manipulate at will. Provided the right circumstances are evident, and there for you when the need arises, you can use the environment to flatten foes or clear a path to safety. We're also impressed by the use of squad-based teamwork and nail-biting decision-making.
Vanquish.
Sitting in the director's chair is Resident Evil's creator, Shinji Mikami. Far removed from the survival horror genre, Vanquish, as Mikami describes it, is a game that injects the extreme pace of an action game into a shooter. And trust us, it's difficult coming up with a better description. The sci-fi setting only expounds on the game's futuristic brisk pace, where taking cover and blasting away at enemies requires a level head, and an equally fast trigger finger. The game has a great feel to it and flows just fine, though we'd really like to sink our teeth into a bigger portion of the game.
And the winner is Gears of War 3.
With a framework already established, the development team's message is clear. Make Gears of War 3 blow people's minds. Creative new enemies are not only visually impressive, they force you into unfamiliar gameplay territory as you weave in and out of the environment, looking for safety beyond a simple rock wall. What's more, Beast Mode, a twist on traditional Horde, lets you tear apart cogs and their defenses as a member of the Locust Army. This simple role reversal mechanic immediately won us over, fulfilling our strategy and gun-toting needs in one big explosive package.